Am I the a-hole for suing my business partner after she secretly transferred a bunch of business money to her personal account? I'm Jackson, 39, and I live in Denver, Colorado. About 5 years ago, I co-founded a small but growing event planning business with my best friend, Sabrina, 37. We started from scratch, pouring our savings, time, and energy into building the company. For years, it was the dream partnership. I handled logistics, contracts, and finances, while Sabrina was the creative powerhouse. We complemented each other perfectly, at least, I thought we did. Sabrina and I had been friends for nearly a decade before we started the business. We met at a networking event and immediately hit it off. Both of us were tired of working for other people, and we'd always joked about starting our own thing. Then one day, the perfect opportunity came up. An acquaintance of mine wanted help planning a corporate retreat and was willing to pay decent money. I called Sabrina, and before we knew it, we had our first gig. From there, things took off. We worked insane hours, landing more clients and slowly building a reputation for ourselves. By year 2, we were profitable. By year 3, we were hiring part-time staff. It felt like all our hard work was finally paying off. The first sign of trouble came about 6 months ago. We just wrapped up a big wedding, and I was going through our accounts to settle payments with vendors. That's when I noticed a weird withdrawal from our business account, $7,500 to a personal Venmo account. At first, I thought it was a mistake. I called Sabrina to ask about it. "Oh, that was me," she said casually. "I needed to cover some personal expenses, but I'll pay it back next week." I was taken aback. "Sabrina, you can't just take money from the business like that. We have bills to pay, and that's not how this works." "It's not a big deal," she insisted. "I'm one of the owners, I'll put it back before it causes any issues." I let it go, thinking it was a one-time lapse in judgment. But now I realize that was my mistake. Fast forward to 2 months ago. We were gearing up for our busiest season, fall weddings, and I decided to do a full audit of our finances to make sure everything was in order. That's when I found it, a pattern of unauthorized transfers over the last year, totaling almost $60,000. Some were small, $500 here, $1,000 there, but others were massive, like a $12,000 transfer marked as consulting fees. Consulting fees? We didn't even have a consultant. I confronted Sabrina immediately. "What the HLL is this?" I demanded, showing her the spreadsheet I'd compiled. She looked nervous but tried to brush it off. "It's not what you think, Jackson. I needed the money for some family stuff. My sister was going through a divorce, and I had to help her with legal fees." "You used business money for personal expenses?" I was livid. "Without telling me? That's embezzlement, Sabrina." "Calm down," she said, her tone defensive. "I didn't think it was a big deal. I'm your partner, I thought you'd understand." "Understand?" I repeated, incredulous. "You've been stealing from the company. Do you realize how serious this is?" She started crying, saying she was under a lot of stress and didn't know how else to handle it. I wanted to feel bad for her, but I couldn't get past the betrayal. This wasn't just a mistake, it was a calculated decision to siphon money from the business without my knowledge. After that conversation, I froze her access to the accounts and told her we needed to figure out how to move forward. I suggested mediation or even dissolving the business, but Sabrina refused to cooperate. She insisted she'd pay the money back eventually and that I was overreacting. Meanwhile, I started hearing rumors from our employees that Sabrina had been badmouthing me, claiming I was trying to push her out of the company. One of our longtime clients even called me to ask if we were going out of business because Sabrina had implied as much during a meeting. That's when I decided enough was enough. I filed a lawsuit against her for misappropriation of funds. My lawyer said it was the best way to protect myself and the business, but it felt like the nuclear option. Sabrina was served 2 weeks ago, and now the fallout is in full swing. Sabrina and I share a lot of mutual friends, and the lawsuit has turned our social circle into a battlefield. Some people are on my side, saying I had no choice given the circumstances. Others think I'm being too harsh, especially since Sabrina has been telling everyone she only took the money to help her struggling sister. My mom, who has always adored Sabrina, thinks I should have handled it privately. "Do you really want to destroy your friendship over money?" she asked me last week. "It's not just about the money," I told her. "It's about trust. How can I work with someone who's been stealing from me for a year? Right now, the business is in limbo. I'm running things on my own while the legal process plays out, but it's exhausting." Sabrina has been trying to paint me as the villain, saying I'm ruining her life and overreacting to a small mistake. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with the fallout of clients and employees who don't know which side to believe. The lawsuit is moving forward, and my lawyer is confident we'll win, but I can't shake the guilt. This business was our dream, something we built together from the ground up. I hate that it's come to this, but I don't see another way. I feel like I've lost not just a business partner but a friend. Part of me wonders if I should have tried harder to resolve this privately, but another part of me feels like Sabrina forced my hand. How can I let her get away with this without setting a dangerous precedent?